What if I told you the greatest trading edge of today was written over 100 years ago, and it still beats modern AI and bots? In this video, we uncover the 10 timeless trading rules of the man who predicted market crashes, made over $100 million in the Great Depression, and mastered trading psychology before most people even had electricity. If you've been trading for months, maybe even years, and your account is still going nowhere, this is your moment of truth. Because the cold, hard reality is this: you don't have a strategy problem, you don't have a timing problem, you have a discipline problem, the kind of problem that doesn't show up in backtests, but shows up every time you second-guess a winning trade, every time you hold a loser just a little too long, every time you stare at your P&L hoping it'll reverse because you just can't take another red day. If that sounds familiar, good, because this video was made for you. Here's what you're going to get if you stay to the end. 10 trading rules, not random tips, not recycled Twitter advice, not AI-generated setups or influencer hype. 10 timeless principles used by Jesse Livermore, the man who made over $100 million during the Great Depression, and built his fortune without a single chart, indicator, or algorithm. These rules are over 100 years old, and they still outperform today's most advanced trading systems. Why? Because markets change, but human behavior doesn't. And if you don't understand behavior, yours and everyone else's, you will keep losing to traders who do. So if you're tired of bleeding slowly, if you're tired of overtrading, underperforming, and lying to yourself about why it's not working, then this video might hurt a little, but it'll save you even more. These are the 10 rules that separate consistent traders from the crowd. They cut deep, they expose weakness, but they also build something nothing else can: control. Stay with me, all 10 are coming, and they just might be the wake-up call your account and your future needs. Rule number 1: forget the tips, trade on your own terms. This one hurts the most because it exposes the truth. Most traders aren't trading, they're following tweets, following Reddit threads, following someone's Discord call-out that they barely understand, because it looked like it worked last time. Let's be real, you've entered trades you didn't research, you've taken setups you didn't plan, and then sat there praying the line would go up. That's not trading, that's gambling in denial. And Jesse Livermore knew this over a century ago. He refused tips, even from friends. He once said, "A man must believe in himself and his judgment if he expects to make a living at this game." He didn't want rumors. He didn't want someone else's confidence. He wanted truth. And truth only comes from your own conviction. Now, in today's market, tips come dressed like research, but don't be fooled. An influencer showing you a chart isn't giving you an edge. They're selling you a feeling. And when you buy that feeling, you're buying risk you don't understand. Because here's what happens. You see someone say, XYZ is about to break out. You jump in. No risk plan, no thesis, just FOMO. It spikes, then drops. Now you're holding the bag, not because of the market, but because you had no exit plan, because it wasn't your trade, it was theirs. And they're not the ones stuck watching it bleed. You are. So here's your new rule: if you didn't build the trade, you don't deserve to take it. Before every entry, ask yourself, why am I getting in here? Where am I wrong? Where will I get out? Both if it works and if it fails. And if you can't answer those questions, you're not ready. Stop outsourcing your decision-making, because every time you do, you give away the one thing you can never recover: control. Real traders don't follow opinions. They build conviction. They check the volume. They read the levels. They understand the catalyst, or they stay out. Because when your conviction is borrowed, so is your courage. And the market has a cruel way of collecting its interest. So forget the tips. Forget the noise. And stop blaming others for trades you chose in fear. Rule number 2: follow the market, don't fight it. You want to lose money fast? Try to outsmart the trend. Try shorting a bull run. Try buying dips in a falling knife. Try standing in front of momentum with your ego out front like a shield. And watch what happens. Livermore had a rule: markets are never wrong, opinions often are. He didn't predict. he followed. When the market showed strength, he bought it. When it showed weakness, he shorted it. No arguing, no fighting, just alignment. Because here's the reality, you don't move the market. Your job isn't to tell it what it should do. Your job is to listen and react with precision. But most traders, they want to be right. So they fight the tape. They short strength because it's gone up too much. They buy weakness because it can't go lower. And that's how accounts die slow, painful deaths. You've done it, you've said, it has to bounce here. Then it didn't. And you didn't cut because you were too busy hoping to be proven right. But the market doesn't care about your feelings. It doesn't care about your reasoning. It only speaks one language, price action. So learn to speak it. Ask yourself, is this market trending? Am I aligned with the direction or fighting it? Do I have confirmation or am I forcing a reversal? If the trend is up, your bias should be up. If the trend is down, your bias should be down. Simple, ruthless, effective. Livermore wasn't a genius because he predicted the future. He was a master because he observed the present and respected it. So if you want to trade like a pro, you need to stop arguing with the tape. Because the more time you spend trying to be clever, the less time you'll spend being profitable. Rule number 3, pull the trigger with conviction. You've done the work, you've seen the setup, you've watched the levels, you're waiting, waiting, waiting. And then the moment comes, and you freeze. You overthink, you second guess. You wait for one more candle, and just like that, the move is gone. Missed opportunity. Livermore had no patience for hesitation. When his conditions were met, he executed, clean, fast, with purpose. He didn't need 1,000 confirmations. He didn't wait until it felt safe. He trusted his process. And this is where most traders fail. You want perfection. You want guarantees. You want to feel 100% certain before you risk anything. But in trading, that feeling never comes. There's always doubt. There's always risk. There's always uncertainty. And the only way to bridge that gap is conviction. Conviction comes from preparation, from knowing your plan, your risk, your edge before the trade ever happens. You want to trade like Livermore. You have to act without fear. That means no hesitation when the setup is there, no overthinking when your edge presents itself, no waiting for comfort in a game built on discomfort. Because hesitation is expensive, the best setups don't stick around. So build your plan, then trust it, then execute. Don't flinch, don't fumble. Pull the trigger like it's what you were trained to do, because it is. Rule number 4, cut your losses quickly. No mercy. This is the one that separates survivors from casualties. You want to know the real difference between pros and amateurs? It's not the entry, it's not the win rate, it's not some fancy strategy or AI-powered bot. It's this: the best traders are ruthless with losses. The rest? They hope. Hope is the most expensive drug in the market. And it'll drain your account faster than any bad setup ever will. Livermore didn't hope. He had a rule. The only thing to do when a person is wrong is to be right by ceasing to be wrong. Translation: cut the damn trade. Small losses are tuition, large losses are destruction. You've seen it, you've felt it, you've had that red position bleeding out, and instead of closing, you whispered, just a little bounce, just back to break even. But that bounce didn't come, and the deeper it went, the more paralyzed you became. That wasn't a strategy. That was emotional paralysis. You weren't trading anymore, you were begging. And begging has no place in a game of precision, so here's the rule. When the trade breaks your condition, get out, immediately. No stories, no negotiations, no prayer. Set a stop, honor it. Move on. Don't wait for the pain to teach you twice, because the longer you let a loser live, the more oxygen it steals from your future. Cut it fast, cut it small, cut it like a surgeon, not like a gambler. Rule number 5, let the winners work. Don't get in their way. Funny, isn't it? Traders hold on to losers like they're lifelines, but they sell winners like they're on fire. A little green flashes on the screen and suddenly your hands start sweating. What if it reverses? Let me just take the profit now. But Jesse Livermore understood something most traders never learn. Big wins don't come from jumping in and out, they come from sitting. He said, "It was never my thinking that made the big money. It was always my sitting." Let that burn into your brain, because you're probably sabotaging your own success right now. Taking $100 gains on setups that were ready to run for $1,000, scaling out too early. Selling because you got bored, selling because you got scared. Livermore let price action tell him when the trend was over, not his feelings. You want to win big? You have to stay in big, even when it gets uncomfortable. That means letting the trade breathe, riding the trend while it's strong, scaling out strategically, not emotionally. You don't need to catch every dollar, but if you never let a trade show you what it's capable of, you're cutting your upside in half before it even starts. Most traders lose not because they don't find good setups, but because they strangle them before they grow. So here's your challenge. Next time you're in a winner, let it prove itself. Not with hope, with structure, with logic, with rules. Set your first target, set your second. Trail your stop if needed. But don't sell just because you're up. Sell because the chart told you it's time. Winners don't need your permission to run. They just need you to stop getting in their way. Rule number 6. Tune out the noise, watch the price. Let's call it what it is. Most of what you consume is garbage. Twitter threads, clickbait thumbnails, live news tickers screaming panic or euphoria every 5 minutes. Opinion after opinion from people who wouldn't risk $100 of their own on what they're telling you to buy. And the more you listen, the more confused you become. You enter a trade based on your setup, then CNBC says unexpected earnings miss. And now you're frozen. Your conviction just evaporated. Why? Because you were listening to noise instead of watching the only thing that matters, price. Price is truth. Price is reality. Price is what the market actually believes, not what people say they believe. Livermore never listened to gossip. He studied the tape. He didn't trade the story. He traded the behavior. That lesson is even more important today, because now the noise is 24/7, and if you're not careful, it'll pollute your mind and wreck your edge. So here's the fix. Shut it off. All of it. Turn off the live stream. Mute the influencers. Log out of the community that spends more time arguing than executing. And look at the chart. Just price, just volume, just the truth. Ask yourself, what is the market doing? Not what is someone saying it might do. Where are buyers showing up? Where are sellers stepping in? What is the story being told in the candles, not in the headlines? Because every time you choose noise over price, you give your power away. And that's how you die in this game. Not with a bang, but with 100 little distractions that erode your clarity. Livermore didn't need a million voices, he just needed one, the markets. So silence everything else, and listen to that. Rule number 7, know when to sit on your hands. Not trading is still a trade. Here's something nobody tells you when you start trading. Doing nothing is a position, and sometimes it's your strongest one. Livermore understood this. He didn't chase action for the sake of feeling busy. He waited for his moment, and only then did he strike. You're not losing because your strategy sucks. You're losing because you can't sit still. You're addicted to trading, to feeling in control, to doing something, anything, even if it's reckless. But here's the truth. The market doesn't reward effort, it rewards precision. And most of the time, your best move is to wait. No setup, no trade. Low volume, no trade. Choppy, messy, emotional markets, no trade. This isn't laziness, this is discipline. When you feel the urge to just take something small, that's your emotions talking. That's boredom. That's fear of missing out. That's ego trying to prove you're in control. But the truth is, you're only in control when you know how to do nothing and feel nothing. Professional traders don't trade every day. They only step in when their edge is present and the probabilities are clear. You want to level up fast. Learn to wait like a sniper, not a machine gunner spraying bullets into the dark. Your capital is ammo. Use it wisely, and never forget, cash is a position. Rule number 8, trade turning points, not random spikes. Livermore didn't trade noise, he traded structure. He wasn't chasing green candles, he wasn't guessing on reversals. He waited for clear, powerful turning points, areas where the market had a reason to move. Support, resistance, breakouts, breakdowns, failed tests, traps. These were his battlegrounds. He knew that inflection points, the places where pressure builds and explodes, are where the biggest opportunities live. And that hasn't changed in 100 years. So why are you buying breakouts with no base? Why are you shorting randomly because something looks overbought? Why are you trading in the middle of nowhere? Just because you're bored? That's not strategy. That's self-sabotage. You want high probability? You need structure and confirmation. You need a level, a reaction, a pattern, a trigger, not a guess, not a feeling. Livermore didn't predict. He prepared. He waited for the market to tip its hand, then acted with aggression. You must do the same. Find the inflection points, mark the battlegrounds, then let the market come to you, because amateurs chase. Pros set traps. Rule number 9, quality over quantity. 1A+ trade is better than 10 maybes. You don't need more trades, you need better trades. Every trade you take pulls from your mental capital, your energy, your focus, your clarity. And if you're taking 15 trades a day trying to feel productive, you're setting yourself on fire and calling it momentum. Livermore waited. He didn't swing at every pitch. He sat, he watched, and when the perfect setup arrived, he hit it hard. 1A+ trade with size and confidence is worth more than a dozen mediocre ones with doubt and noise. Every time you trade low-quality setups, you drain your energy, and you weaken your discipline for when the real opportunity appears. So here's your rule. Be selective. Be ruthless. Be patient. You're not here to be busy. You're here to be deadly. You should be saying no to 90% of what you see. Because the difference between professional traders and amateurs isn't just execution, it's filtration. Pros ignore 99 setups to take the one that matters. Amateurs try to trade them all and burn out before noon. So ask yourself, is this trade good or just good enough? If it's not a hell yes, it's a hell no. Rule number 10, protect your capital, like it's your last dollar. This is the final rule, and it's the one everything else depends on. Your edge means nothing if you run out of money. Your strategy means nothing if you blow up your account before it works. Your dreams mean nothing if you don't respect the chips you have left. Protect your capital with obsession. Livermore knew this better than anyone. He made and lost multiple fortunes. And every time it came back to one thing: capital is life. Without it, you're done. You can't trade, you can't learn, you can't recover. So stop focusing on how much can I make? Start asking, how much can I lose and still play tomorrow? Risk small, cut fast, respect your limits. You don't need to swing for home runs. You need to survive every single day. Because the longer you stay in the game, the more the edge starts to work. The more patterns you see, the more lessons compound. This isn't about winning fast. This is about staying in long enough to win slow and win forever. Now we're here. 10 rules, 10 truths, each forged in the fire of real trading, each sharper than anything a bot could calculate, because the market doesn't reward speed, it rewards strength, and strength isn't found in a strategy, it's found in you. If you follow these 10 rules, really follow them, you will outlast most of the noise in this game, because you'll stop chasing hype, you'll stop needing tips, you'll stop fearing red, and you'll stop trading like a wounded animal and start trading like a weapon. These aren't just rules, they're a foundation. And if you build yourself on that foundation, you'll become something the market can't shake. Consistent, disciplined, clear, profitable. That's what this is about. So if this hit you where it matters, don't just say good video. Do something. Replay this. Write the rules down, stick them on your screen, make them your new trading religion. Because the market isn't going to get easier, but you can get stronger. Jesse Livermore may be gone, but his rules are alive, and now they're in your hands. The rest is up to you.